Hello friends, in this video we will learn how to make this beautiful watercolors. Alright, this is a very simple sketch based on which we will make our watercolors, and I am using a cold press watercolor paper here. The brand is Chitrapat, which is an Indian brand, but any cold press watercolor would be good enough for this particular tutorial. So I am using a 270 GSM paper, and I am making very rough sketch. I am using very rough in the sense not very detailed or very accurate. So, and our drawing does not have too much of elements also. As you have seen the initial sketch, we just have some backgrounds and some water body, some sky, and maybe a boat here, and the boat also is very simple one, right? And this boat is the focal element for this particular scene. Okay. I am using a dark graphite pencil for the drawing. Okay, you could use normal graphite pencil, maybe 2B, or I wouldn't suggest using very light pencil, but it is up to you. So some reflection for the boat and a person at the other side of the boat. Okay, I think he should be slightly taller. Okay. And maybe another person here who could be a bit taller, and who is closer to us, right? And yeah, this again is a very suggestive drawing, and he also will have some reflection. I think that's it for the drawing part of it, and whatever we need to additionally define, we will define it at the time of painting. Now I am applying clean water to the paper, and maybe I will be wetting the paper. Almost the entire paper I am planning to wet, and I will be doing wet on wet watercolors. This will be a very simple treatment. Maybe I am leaving the boat as dry. Rest every area I am covering with water. I am using a mop brush for this, and I think whenever you do large washes, you should use mop brushes, right? And you should be picking up your brush depending upon the size of your application, right? On a wet paper, I am applying slightly grayish blue, and I am letting the color to bleed down and spread across, and that is the reason I applied water first. And maybe the top of the sky is slightly more blue, and I think the paper went a little bit too much of wet. I should have waited a couple of seconds. Now what I see is the colors are spreading too much down. If you like this kind of tutorial videos, if you think this is going to help you, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking on the bell notification, so that you get all my new videos at the earliest. I mean, you will get notified. Okay, at the far end, maybe some slight blue color, and this entire watercolor, it is not very colorful. I am not using too much of colors here. I'll be using some grayish blue and some kind of cleaner blue like this, and I'll be using some earthy colors like brown, etc. So here again the paper is wet, so it is a little bit spread. You can see that the paints are spreading down, and at the bottom where I'm suggesting some piece of land, I'm using little bit of burnt sienna and maybe a touch of orange. So the colors I used as of now are cobalt blue with little bit of brown, burnt umber, a touch of crimson. That was for the clouds, and for the foreground area I used little bit of a cerulean blue and burnt sienna and orange. Okay, you don't have to worry too much about the precise ratio and mix of colors. You could pick any suitable colors that you like for the scene. Okay, please don't stick to specific colors, etc. Be explorative, explore yourself, and learn new color combinations, new color ideas. I think, yeah, we are done with the initial wash. Entire paper is covered with the wash except maybe for the boat. Now I need little bit of darker color, which is again a grayish blue. So for the grayish blue you can mix cobalt blue or any other blue with some amount of some version of brown and maybe a touch of red. Okay, so this is a kind of a far end hill sort of thing, and oh, there is an accident. That slight touch of blue at the water area was accidental by mistake. Okay, I'm leaving it like that, so that we'll see how to handle it later. Within the hill I am still varying the tones so that we will get some kind of interest, some play of light and some amount of depth we will get by varying the tones within the hill. Okay, right. Yeah, I think we are done with the far end above the horizon and little bit of maybe reflection of the hill here, and that the touch of blue in the water is slightly disturbing me. I have to do something there. Yeah, the reflection should be kind of a mirror image of the hill above, so I have to do we have to do little correction here, I think. Yeah, I think we'll stop at this point. Some pieces of shallow land. This water at the near the shore is little shallow, so some part of the land will be seen through. It will be seen above, and I'm just suggesting some part of land that is seen above the water, and it is just a random approach. Yeah, if you think somewhere the color is more, you can use a piece of tissue paper to smudge it out. Right. I think the foreground needs some touches of dark colors to get better depth. Watercolor dries lighter, so initially I thought the foreground was dark enough, but after drying it was very light. So I'm using a flat brush and little bit of a dry color, that means which is not very watery, mix of blue and burnt sienna. I'm using a flat brush and I'm suggesting some darkness. Now let us go for some reflection for the boat. We have not yet defined the boat. It is up to you. We could have defined the boat first and then the reflection, or you could do the other way as well. Right. I think little bit of more reflection below the patch of land. Okay, little bit more reflection. Maybe you can smudge it a bit. It's all experimentation, so you if you get an idea, try it. Okay, don't worry, If it fails, it fails. That's it. You learn it. If it fails, then you learn from it. If it doesn't fail, fine. Right, I think this much suggestion for the boat is sufficient. See, our objective is to make some very simple watercolors, not going for very precise and very interesting details. We are just going with some simple elements. Now I'm suggesting some maybe the foreign figure who is standing on the other side of the boat, and there is another guy who is probably standing closer to us. So I'm just suggesting starting with the head, which is a darker part, and then I will go with the body, the upper body. Okay, I'm not worrying too much about the colors, clean colors. His upper body is in the shadow area, in fact. Okay, so it will be a little darker, and it is very tiny, in fact. So you have to be a little careful when we define human figures. Human figures are a bit tricky to make, I know, and many of us struggle a lot in making figures. Please let me know in the comments if you find suggesting figures in watercolors is you are finding it tricky or difficult, right? Because I find it tricky and I had a lot of trouble at the beginning. Now I am sort of getting used to that. So if you have any suggestion or any suggestions for improvement, or if you have any suggestion for certain topic to be included in the tutorials, please put them in the comment box. I am not actually into floral painting or too much of portrait painting, so I may not be able to include tutorials for these two subjects very quickly, but others like streetscape or landscapes, etc., a beach scene or whatever, we may be able to include some tutorials if there is a need. I think we are getting good amount of depth and interest already, and I don't want to spoil, or I don't want to make it too complicated. Most likely I will consider this as done. Okay, some darker touches I thought may be helpful, and I think we'll close it. We should know when to stop a painting. You will keep on getting ideas for making more and more suggestions, touches, and if you continue doing that beyond a point, you will start spoiling it. Some orange color for the exposed body part for the figures. Okay, yeah, I think that's it. If you are liking this video, please put a like, and please also put some comments of how did you feel about this tutorial, what you wanted to be included for future classes, etc. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next session. Once again, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please subscribe and click on that bell notification icon. So we'll see you in the next video, and happy painting.